Hello, hi again, this is Per Zenström, and in today's video I will try to tell you a little bit more about my very recent shooting for fashion label Stephan Boya. Um, Stephan Boya, it's a client, it's actually a partner, I should say, that I've been shooting for quite some time now, for several collections, and this time around we decided to move away a bit from the previous direction that we had and try to focus a bit more on the core of what Stephan Boya really is all about, which is cashmere, the feeling of cashmere on your skin, femininity, prettiness. This marks a bit of a departure from the previous direction, which was a little bit more urban, a little bit more chic, a little bit more sexy. So again, back to the roots for Stephan Boya, and we were talking a lot about Polaroids and the feeling of Polaroids and why they're so emotionally powerful, and we decided to try to use that in our images. Also, daylight became a very important factor because the naturalness of daylight was very important for us. This is a fall-winter campaign, and we happened to shoot it in January, so unfortunately not a whole lot of daylight in Europe. Gray January day, so we also shot quite a lot with flash. Another aspect of this shooting was that we moved away from our previous direction, which was keeping everything very similar. This time around we actually went totally in the opposite direction, and we wanted to shoot a lot of different type looking images: daylight, studio, clean, messy, blurry, to really give an impression of images that have been shot over a period of time and collected over a longer period of time. So we needed to very quickly move from light situation to light situation, try to get the image very quickly, and then move on to the next thing in order for us to get a variety. Again, daylight became a very important factor, so we try to get the daylight images done in the beginning of the shooting, and since that's actually when we had daylight. I mean, at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we were done with that. There was no more light left. Here I think is a good example of the prettiness of daylight and the prettiness and sensuality that we were looking for, the feeling of cashmere against your skin, and that's sort of like self-evident, the prettiness and femininity of the label. The label is a luxury label, and their price point is on the high side, which means that even though we were trying to mess up the images, we also needed to keep the look quite polished. That might sound like a contradiction, but what I mean is that if we're what I mean is that if you're shooting messy, you have to go really, really messy. If you shoot clean, you have to go really, really clean. If you do pretty, it has to be really, really pretty. You always need to have a point of view, a very strong point of view. And for example, if you want romantic pretty, you have to go all the way. You can't be half romantic, half pretty. Just a little sidebar. Again, the feeling of Polaroids and the sort of like people tend to accept Polaroids in a way that I'm still trying to figure out why. People love Polaroids, and I think it has to do with the fact that they seem to have aged. Polaroids seem to have a life. They seem to be alive because you see the wear and tear. You see the traces of things that are happening in the scratches and the fading and stuff like that. So that was again an important aspect. That was again softness, trying to convey the feeling of wearing cashmere on your bare skin. Here I think this is a good example of an image which in itself it's not earth-shatteringly beautiful. It's an image of a pretty girl, but like adding the scratches and adding the grain and making it look like a Polaroid makes it much more powerful. And by the way, nothing of this was shot on Polaroids. It's all digital. Actually, we have just made them look like Polaroids. Um, Images like this also, it's very important for the brand to be seen like this. Like there's a clarity, there's a self-evidence, there's a naturalness to these images, and I think a lot of women, they wanna they they wanna look like this. They see themselves as this. Um, so it's kind of like sensuality on from a woman's point of view. I dare to say, actually. Well, that's it for today. Thank you very much. I hope you liked what you saw. You click on this link to get my top 13 list of tools that I use practically every day in my photography business. Thank you very much.